Today we'll start with the topic named selective repeat ARQ and piggybacking. So by far we have studied about some methods when we were talking about data link control. So we have seen that basically we are dealing with for noisy channels and for noiseless channels. In noisy channels we were studying about sliding window protocols, and in this sliding window protocols we in the previous lecture we have studied about one protocol, and this selective repeat ARQ is the second protocol of sliding window protocol. So what is selective repeat ARQ? We will completely understand this situation here. It is an implementation of selective repeat ARQ. Now we are going to implement selective repeat ARQ here. In the previous one, go back and wait, we were studying that its sender window size was n but receiver window size was 1. But in this selective repeat ARQ, the window size of sender and the window size of the receiver will be same. That means sender window size, how much the size will be of sender will be equal to the receiver size. That means if sender's window size is n, then receiver window size will always be n. But in the previous scenario we were seeing that in that case sender window was size n but receiver's window size was 1. So how it will going to help us when the size of receiver window size is not 1 but equal to the window size of sender. The size is of course greater than 1, otherwise the protocol will become stop and wait ARQ. Okay, so this is not shown that receiver window size is 1, so this is going to decrease the possibilities of previous occurring, which were actually creating the problems in the previous scenarios. So like suppose if n bits are available for sequence number, then the sequence number is of n bits, then sender window size will be equal to of receiver window size, that we already know, which will be equal to 2 raised to power n upon 2, or we can say that it will be equal to 2 raised to power n minus 1. So this number of sequence number can be present when the window size is n. So receiver acknowledges each frame independently. In the previous scenario what we were seeing that uh, a cumulative acknowledgement was sent, but in this selective repeat ARQ, instead of sending cumulative acknowledgement, receiver is going to send each and every acknowledgement for each and every data frame individually. Instead of sending cumulative acknowledgement, he is going to send acknowledgement for every data frame that is being sent by sender and received by the receiver. So as receiver receives a new frame from the sender, it sends acknowledgement. As soon as he get the frame from sender, he will send the acknowledgement at the particular timestamp when he got the frame. So this is the actual mainframe of selective repeat ARQ, where window size is equal to window size of sender is equal to window size of receiver, and here receiver is going to send each and every acknowledgement of particular data frames that he will receive, and he is going to send a new acknowledgement for every new frame that he will receive. So if receiver receives a frame that is corrupted, then it does not silently discard that frame. In the previous scenario what we were seeing that our frames get discarded when the frame that was corrupted is received by the receiver instead of doing some method on error correction and detection, he simply discard that data frame. And then when the sender does not receive the acknowledgement, then sender thinks that that the receiver has not received any data frame, and he tries to send all the data frames again. So but in this case it does not intend to discard that frame. Instead of that, in discarding of the frame, he sent the negative acknowledgement for the data frame that he has. That means receiver will send the negative acknowledgement to the sender that he has not received the proper sequenced acknowledgement that he wants to get, or the frame that he got is corrupted or having some error. So he tells sender to send that particular data frame to him again. So this negative acknowledgement will tell sender to send that particular data frame again to the receiver. Negative acknowledgement allows early retransmission of the corrupted frame. Like, see, there are two ways. Either when the frame acknowledgement has not received by the sender, then sender sends that particular frame, or when he receives the negative acknowledgement, he sends that particular data frame at the same moment when he received that negative acknowledgement. What I am trying to say is कि अगर जैसे सेंडर है और रिसीवर है, सेंडर अभी क्या कर रहा है, एक डेटा फ्रेम सेंड कर रहा है, जैसे वो डेटा फ्रेम सेंड कर रहा है, रिसीवर वैसे ही एट द सेम पर्टिकुलर टाइम स्टैम्प ही इज़ गोइंग टू सेंड द एक्नॉलेजमेंट फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर फ्रेम. बट क्या हो रहा है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ कि कुछ फ्रेम्स तो उसको मिल गए, रास्ते में क्या हुआ, एक फ्रेम जो था वो कहीं पे करप्टेड हो गया उसको. ठीक है, तो उसने क्या है, या तो वो उसकी एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड ही ना करे उसको, तो उस टाइम पे क्या होगा कि एट द एंड ऑफ द सेंडर साइड, कि जब सारी की सारी जो फ्रेम्स हैं वो कंप्लीट हो जाएंगी सेंडिंग फ्रॉम द सेंडर साइड, तो वो क्या चेक करेगा, जब उसका टाइमर एंड हो जाएगा तो वो चेक करेगा कि ये फ्रेम जो उसने सेंड की थी रिसीवर को नहीं मिली, रिसीवर ने उसकी एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड नहीं करी, तो वो उस फ्रेम को रीसेंड कर देगा. या दूसरा वे क्या है कि रिसीवर जो है वो एक नेगेटिव एक्नॉलेजमेंट से उसको ये बता दे कि दैट द डेटा फ्रेम ऑफ दिस नंबर is corrupted. तो क्या करेगा, sender instead of waiting for sending all those data frames that he wants to send to the receiver and then to wait for the timer to get that particular frames acknowledgement, वो क्या करेगा, जैसे नेगेटिव एक्नॉलेजमेंट आ जाएगी वो उसी मोमेंट पे उसको रीट्रांसमिट कर देगा डेटा फ्रेम को. दैट मीन्स receiver has not should not wait for this much amount of time. Instead of waiting for a whole complete scenario or a whole complete timer, उसको उसी टाइम पे वो डेटा फ्रेम मिल जाएगी when he sends a negative acknowledgement. It also avoids waiting for the timer to expire at the sender side to retransmit the frame. Receiver window is implemented as a linked list. So here what I am trying to say is, we know that we have a sender's windows and receivers window. In the receiver windows, the receiver window is actually work as a linked list. Why I am saying that linked list? Because when receiver receives a new frame, it places the new frame at the end of the linked list. That means कि अगर जैसे ही उसको एक फ्रेम मिलता है, अभी तक जैसे सपोज उसका पास एक विंडो साइज है, ठीक है, तो n विंडो साइज उसका, n विंडो साइज उसका, मतलब सेंटर का भी n विंडो साइज है और रिसीवर का भी n विंडो साइज है. अगर सपोज n इज इक्वल टू 4 है, दैट मीन्स सेंडर एंड रिसीवर हैज़ अ विंडो साइज ऑफ 4. फर्स्टली पैकेट 1 was sent to the receiver. ओके, तो सिंपली वो फर्स्ट पैकेट उसको लास्ट पैकेट पे करके उसको चेक करेगा कि अच्छा ये पैकेट का सीक्वेंस नंबर क्या है. अगर तो उसका सीक्वेंस नंबर 1 है तो उसको फर्स्ट फ्रेम में रख देगा, ठीक है, पूरे के पूरे में. ठीक है, फिर वो जैसे जैसे फ्रेम आते जाएंगे उसको पहले लास्ट पे रखेगा, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली उसका सीक्वेंस नंबर चेक करके, एंड देन ही इज़ गोइंग टू प्लेस दैट पर्टिकुलर डेटा फ्रेम टू द सीक्वेंस नंबर दैट ही गोट. लाइक सपोज कि पैकेट 2 जो है वो लॉस हो जाता है इन बिटवीन ऑफ द ट्रांसमिशन मीडिया, तो उसके पास पैकेट 3 मिल जाता है, तो वो पैकेट 3 को पहले एंड पे रखेगा, देन ही इज़ गोइंग टू चेक दैट दिस इज़ पैकेट 3 एंड नॉट पैकेट 2. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ पुटिंग दैट पैकेट at the position of packet 2, he will put it at the position of P3 and then wait for the P2 to come. When the received frames are out of order, receiver performs a sorting. In this selective repeat ARQ, one of the main functionalities that actually helps selective repeat ARQ to arrange that particular data frames is that he performs sorting of the data frames. कि जैसे अगर उसके पास अगर डेटा फ्रेम 2 आया है, पहले उसके पास 4 पैकेट थे, फ्रेम 1 आ गया, फ्रेम 2 3 4 आना चाहिए था, बट उसके पास क्या हुआ, फ्रेम 1 आ गया, उसके बाद फ्रेम 3 आ गया, उसने फ्रेम 1 के साथ में फ्रेम 3 को रख दिया, देन ही गेट्स अ फ्रेम F4, और उसके बाद फ्रेम 2 आ जाता है उसके पास। तो अभी फ्रेम 2 को F1 के बाद में होना चाहिए था, बट अभी बिकॉज ऑफ सम लॉस्ट ऑफ दैट पैकेट और सम करप्शन, वो क्या हो गया, वो इंस्टेड ऑफ पोजीशन 2 वो प्रेजेंट है पोजीशन 4 पे। सो इट the selective ARQ will perform the sorting of that, and he will sort the order of that particular frames, and by the sorting we'll get the sorted list of the frames. That means we'll firstly get the frame 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. This is the proper sorting of the data frames. Sorting sorts the frame in the correct order. Receiver does not reject the out of order frames. Like in the previous ones we were saying that if receiver does not get the sequence number that he wants to actually get, if he does not receive that, he simply discards that data frame. But in selective repeat ARQ, the receiver is not going to discard that particular data frame, but he will put it in the frame. Receiver accepts the out of order frames and sort them later. Like I have uh, given you the example where sorting was performed, so thus only the missing frame has to be sent by the sender. So in the previous ones we were saying that if packet 2 has been lost in the transmission media, then instead of sending the packet 2, sender will send all the packets immediately preceded by the P2 after sending P2. That means P2, P3, P4 up to Pn packets will be retransmitted again to the receiver instead of sending the lost packet. So here in the selective repeat ARQ, only the lost packet or the corrupted packet will be sent to the receiver instead of the whole window. For sending the missing frame, sender performs searching and finds a missing frame. So at the sender side, sender performs a searching algorithm. In that searching algorithm, he'll find that of which frame he has received the negative acknowledgement, or of which of frame he has not received any acknowledgement even that when the timer has ended. So he simply search that data frame and then resend that data frame to the receiver. So selective repeat ARQ, then sender selectively repeats the frame, thus only the selected frame is repeated and not the entire window. That means only the packet which has been lost or corrupted or has not been received by the receiver, only that particular frame will be retransmitted again by using the transmission media. This is why the protocol has been named as the selective repeat ARQ, because we are selecting which frame should be repeatedly sent to the receiver. Consider a frame being sent to the receiver is lost on the frame, then it is transmitted only after the timer expires for that frame at the sender side. See, for the corrupted frames, sender will send the negative acknowledgement. But for the lost frame, sender has to wait until and unless the timer does not expire. As soon as the timer expires and he sees that this frame's acknowledgement has not received by him, then he will retransmit that particular data frame to the receiver. Like see, here we have the basic flow diagram of selective repeat ARQ. Here, on the left side we have a sender, and on the right side there is a receiver. Firstly, frame 1 has been sent to the receiver, that is 0. That is then receiver receive that frame and send the acknowledgement as soon as he got the frame. Then frame 2 has been sent to the receiver from the sender, that is 1. Receiver 1 will send the acknowledgement as soon as he got the frame, that is ACQ2, that he has received the frame 2. Then Sender tries to send the third frame that is also 1, but it has been lost in between the path. Okay, then in this scenario, the sender has to wait until the timer expires. When the timer will expire, only then the packet 3 or the frame 3 will be resent to the receiver. Then frame 4 was sent to the to the receiver, and as soon as he got the frame, but he sees that this is the corrupted data. Okay, and because of that corrupted data, he will send the negative acknowledgement to the sender, and then sender will resend that the frame again to him. So this is the particular scenario of selective repeat ARQ. Now what is the efficiency of selective repeat ARQ? Efficiency of any flow control protocol is given by efficiency is equal to sender window size in protocol upon 1 plus 2a, and for selective repeat ARQ, our sender's window size is equal to n, so we can write it as efficiency is equal to n upon 1 plus 2a. So what is piggybacking? In all practical situations, the transmission of data needs to be bidirectional. ओके, तो जनरल सिनेरियो में क्या होता है कि हम क्या चाहते हैं कि हमारी जो रीट्रांसमिशन है, जैसे अभी जो रीट्रांसमिशन हो रही थी, वो अगर एक ही तरफ की रहती है, मतलब यूनि डायरेक्शनल रहती है, तो उस टाइम पे क्या हो जाता है कि सिर्फ एक पर सिर्फ सेंड करने का लोड रह जाता है और दूसरे के पास सिर्फ उस डेटा को रिसीव करने का लोड रह जाता है. ठीक है, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ टू बी unidirectional, we always want our data to be bidirectional. That means fully duplex. Data can be sent from sender to receiver, and receiver can also send data to the sender. Okay, that means जो sender है वो sender की तरह भी work कर सकता है और receiver की तरह भी work कर सकता है, and receiver can work as a receiver and as well as the sender. We can achieve this full duplex transmission, that is by having two separate channels, one for forward data transfer and other for separate transfer. That means कि अब हमारे पास यहाँ पे हम दो ट्रांसफ़र रहेंगे. एक ट्रांसफ़र होगा जो डेटा ट्रांसफ़र करेगा और दूसरा जो एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स के लिए होगा, जो सेपरेट ट्रांसफ़र कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, अ बेटर सोल्यूशन वुड बी टू यूज़ ईच चैनल फॉरवर्ड एंड रिवर्स. ठीक है, तो इस केस में क्या करेंगे, जब हम फुल डुप्लेक्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो हम क्या चाहेंगे कि हर चैनल कैन मूव forward and can move reverse, so to transmit frames both ways with both channels having the same capacity. That means when sender can play the role of a sender, as well as sender can perform the role of receiver. So this is the better solution of, or we can say that, forward and reverse of transmission of frames. If A and B are two users, then the data frames from A to B are intermixed with the acknowledgement from A to B. Suppose what I am trying to say is पिगी बैंकिंग में क्या हो रहा है कि अभी A और B, A सेंडर है सपोज और अभी B रिसीवर है. ठीक है, अगर हमारा यूनिडायरेक्शनल है, मतलब A जो है वो एज अ सेंडर ही वर्क कर रहा है और B रिसीवर की तरह वर्क कर रहा है. A ने B को ट्रांसमिट कर दिया, ठीक है, सारे पैकेट्स, और B इसको रिसीव कर रहा है, दैट्स इट. बट अगर हम बाई डायरेक्शनल की बात कर रहे हैं तो ए सेंड भी कर रहा है और ए रिसीव भी कर रहा है पैकेट्स. ठीक है, उस केस में क्या होगा कि अब जो सेंड कर रहे हैं वो रिसीव कर रहा है एक्नॉलेजमेंट, ठीक है, रिसीवर से, कि उसको वो डेटा पैकेट जो आपने सेंड किया था वो मिल गया. और जब वो एज अ रिसीवर की तरह ए वर्क कर रहा है तो उसको भी तो वो एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड करनी है बी को. तो इस तरह से जो एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स है वो इंटरमिक्स हो जाती हैं, बिकॉज कभी डेटा जा रहा है, कभी एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स आ रही हैं, कभी एक्नॉलेजमेंट्स जा रही हैं, कभी डेटा आ रहा है. सो दिस इज सच अ होच पोच, और वी कैन से दैट दिस इज नॉट द perfect way to perform full duplex. So then piggybacking came into scenario, which is the efficient way of how data is sent to the from one point to the other, and how acknowledgement will be received, and in a efficient way. Like see, this is the improvement that is given by the piggybacking. In two-way communication, whenever a data frame is received, the receiver waits and does not send the control frame back to the sender immediately. That means अभी टू वे कम्युनिकेशन है, जैसे ही रिसीवर ने डेटा फ्रेम रिसीव किया वो साथ के साथ एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड नहीं करेगा सेंटर को, और क्या करेगा, वेट करेगा। वेट किस चीज़ की करेगा, कि उसको कोई पैकेट तो नहीं सेंड करना सेंटर को। जैसे ही मतलब ए और बी है, सपोज ए ने एक पैकेट सेंड किया था बी को, ठीक है, बी साथ के साथ उसको एक्नॉलेजमेंट सेंड नहीं करेगा, पर वो क्या करेगा, वेट करेगा कि ऐसा तो नहीं है कि उसको कोई फ्रेम सेंड करना हो बी को, ठीक है। जैसे ही उसको कोई फ्रेम मिलता है कि उसको सेंड करना है, तो वो फ्रेम प्लस दैट डिलेड एक्नॉलेजमेंट which should be sent by the receiver earlier, he is going to send that acknowledgement with the delay timer. The receiver waits until its network layer passes in the next data packet. The delayed acknowledgement is then attached to this outgoing data frame. This technique of temporarily delaying the acknowledgement so that it can be hooked with next outgoing data frame is known as piggybacking. That means this this temporary delay of sending the acknowledgement along with the data is known as the piggybacking technique. Like see here in the flow diagram, we have station X and station Y. Okay, X has some data to send. In this scenario, now X is playing the role of a sender and Y is playing the scenario of receiver. Okay, Y has, okay, the when X has sent some data to the station Y will receive that data, and instead of sending that acknowledgement at that particular time when he got that frame, he is going to wait until and unless he has not get the frame that he wants to send to the स्टेशन X. जैसे ही स्टेशन Y के पास एक ऐसा कोई डेटा आया जो उसने स्टेशन X को सेंड करना था, तो वो एक्नॉलेजमेंट ऑफ द प्रीवियस डेटा वो उसके साथ में अटैच करके सेंड कर देगा. दैट मीन्स डेटा प्लस एक्नॉलेजमेंट हैज़ बीन सेंड बाय स्टेशन Y to station X. Then again X will wait until and unless he has not get any data frame that should be sent by station X to station Y. Okay, then as soon as he got the frame that should be sent to station Y, he will send that data plus that acknowledgement of the data frame that he received by the station Y. He'll send data plus acknowledgement to the Y. See, if Y does not, in the previous two scenarios we were saying that station Y has some data to send to the station X. Similarly, station X has some data to send. Okay, but what will happen when there is no such data to be present in station Y to send to station X? Then he will simply send the acknowledgement and he will not wait for any data frame to come into the picture or to come in the scenario after a long duration of time. He is not going to wait for such a long duration. Okay, then acknowledgement will be sent from station Y to station X and station X will receive the acknowledgement. So in this lecture we have studied about selection based ARQ. In selective protocol ARQ we have studied that there will be acknowledgements and there will be negative acknowledgements. Negative acknowledgement will tell sender to send that particular frame of which he has received the negative acknowledgement to the receiver again. Instead of waiting for so long, he will send the negative acknowledgement and he will get that particular frame at that particular time instant. And we have seen that the sender window size is equal to receiver window size in selective protocol ARQ. Also we have seen that receiver has the property of sorting, so he can simply sort all those data frames in the proper sequence of the data frames should be. And then we were talking about piggy banking. Piggy banking is the way in which both the channels are, or when we were talking about node to node transmission, these two nodes are working as either receiver or sender, both the stations will work as a sender and the receiver. So this here we have seen that because of bidirectional transmission, we were seeing that there is overhead of acknowledgement plus data, and we were also seeing that there is also an intermixing of data and the acknowledgement that has been sent from in between of two stations. So piggy banking came into the scenario, which tells us that station will wait for the data frame, and he will send the data frame with the delayed acknowledgement to the sender. So this is the main scenario of piggy banking. Here we are going to end our lecture with selective based protocol, ARQ, and flow diagram. Thank you so much.